Hello, you guys. Oh my gosh. I have absolutely zero preparation, and so I am a bit nervous. But I want to dive into talking about gratitude, how it transcends the moment for you, it transcends time for you, it transcends the way that you experience your life. I totally did not plan for this video to go out at all. I did not plan to film at all. I have my hair up. I actually just stepped out of the shower. The reason why this topic came about was because I was kind of like complaining in my head. Like, you know, one of those moments when you kind of just like you're a little frustrated, or you're thinking about like bad qualities of someone. Well, at that moment, I thought that my husband is upset at me. I was like, oh, why can't he just be more chirpy? Why can't he just be more happy? Like, you know, I started to have these like negative feeling thoughts about my husband. And all of a sudden there was like a lighter part of me that stepped in and said, you know what? You're really focusing on this really heavy energy right here. Well, what about all those things that he's been doing for you? What about all those things like the way that he kisses you, the way that he, you know, comes from your back and like holds you from behind, the way that he, you know, helps me to... He actually did this one really funny thing where he helped me mince meat in the food processor because I didn't want to do it myself. I didn't want to mince the meat myself. I didn't want to like touch it with my hands. And so he stepped in and he cut the meat. He did all the things for me. He put it in the food processor. He turned on the button and he even like cleaned it for me. So like I didn't have to do any of that work myself, which is essentially like the kind of work that I don't like to do. And so I thought to myself, you know what? It's actually quite interesting how our marriage like evolved, and you know, he loves me, and he loves me in such a beautiful way, in a way that, you know, he'll pick up all the tasks at home that I don't like to do. Like that's kind of his love language. And then on top of that, you know, he does other things for me that really like delights me in the moment. So it's not, you know, when I started thinking about that, I'm like, I was just so touched. Like even just saying it right now gets me all emotional. So I thought to myself, wow, how beautiful is that, and how grateful I feel. I just felt so much beauty. I just felt like this was not the same kind of gratitude that I was practicing before, because it was not a session. It was not me opening up my gratitude journal where I started listing out all the things that I felt grateful about. Even though I'm sure that, you know, when I start doing that practice, it tends to generate the feeling of gratitude as well. But like just really focusing and expanding into the magic of the moment, how beautiful that moment was, how meaningful it was, just focusing on the way the moment touched you, the way that I felt so moved by the moment. What if we were able to experience gratitude in this way, in this magnitude, this feeling of awe and beauty in every place of our lives? And then I started thinking about, wow, you know, just the way that I am receiving these ideas right now, you know, in the shower. And I was wet, I was naked in this cold shower. And all of a sudden I get this idea, and it's just like, wow, this is just the most beautiful moment ever. The way that I get to taste this, enjoy this glass of water. I can feel the temperature. I feel how it cools down in my body. The way the sun kind of glistens through the leaves, the way the sun shines through the clouds. And then it hit me. It hit me. Gratitude is not a practice for us to count the things that, you know, that we feel privileged about. Gratitude is experiencing the moment and the way the moment moves you. It's It's about experiencing any kind of moment. And it could be an ordinary moment. It could be an extraordinary moment. It could be an exceptional moment. It could be like a one in a lifetime moment. Or it could be a moment where you're just doing the most mundane things. It could be you just like staring off to space into the clouds, and you just like feel this like amazing connection with the universe, with the space around you, with the environment around you, with the birds that you see, standing on the cables, with the birds that are just flying across the sky, with the freedom that you feel they experience. You feel the same kind of freedom in your life, and that moment, that the way that it moves you, and focusing on the way that it happens, the way that it touches you, the way that it inspires you, the way that it just like awaken something inside of you. That is gratitude. That, my friends, is the transcendence of the moment. That it transcends you, and it transcends the way you experience it beyond the normal way you'd interpret it. So it's not just about counting all the things and, the more you write, the more you can count, the better. It's about feeling into the way something moved you. And it could be one thing. It could be two things. But it could also be the depth of which something moved you, of which it changed the way that you see things, of the way that it changed the way you feel about things and yourself and the connection that you have with the universe, that touches a place inside of your heart that has never been touched before. I feel this is the kind of gratitude that, the more you experience this, the more you will experience it in more places of your life, and the bigger impact it has on you. Because as I'm even talking about this, I'm feeling like incredibly emotional for no reason. I'm trying not to cry. This is the way that gratitude shows up and transcends your life. It's kind of like dropping a droplet of food coloring into the water and then just like watch it take over the entire container. Like it just spills into all the areas of your life. This feeling of overwhelming presence and connection and just awe. I think that's like probably the only way I could explain it. It's just awe. It's like just the way that it happens. It's not even what happens. Because oftentimes I find when we try to experience gratitude, when we try to generate that feeling, when we artificially try to come up with a feeling of gratitude, what tends to happen is that we make it a practice to count the things. While it's so important to be able to see the things, to be able to count things, to be able to be grateful for them, we oftentimes lose touch with the depth of how it moves us, and how it touches us, and how it has an impact in our lives. So what I found is that it's not about the amount of things that we feel grateful for, not the amount of things that we feel privileged for, but it's about how deep it sinks into our being, and then how much it takes up our emotional bandwidth that makes us feel like, oh my gosh, this is just the most incredible thing. This is the most incredible thing ever. This is the most incredible thing that this has happened to me. This is the most incredible feeling. This is the most connected that I've ever felt. This is the most appreciative of what this person has done for me and how they made me feel. What I really want to emphasize the next time you're, really getting into the state of appreciate, like deep connection and appreciativeness, is how it has moved you and how it has impacted you. It's not just about the what. It's not just about the list. It is about how it has moved a part of your life, how you have been touched, a way that you have never been touched and moved and awakened before. And also the feedback tends to be a very strong emotion. So that's how you know that you are experiencing this moment of oneness, connection, joy. It's a very strong wave of emotion. You cannot miss it. So the only way to know that you're actually doing it right is if you feel this very, very strong wave of emotion just completely take over you. And you're like, oh my gosh, like this is unbelievable. It is like the simplest thing, or it is the most beautiful thing, and I am just so taken away. My breath is taken away. This is so extraordinary. This is unbelievable. And it almost feels for you that moment, like it could be a couple of seconds, it could be a couple of minutes, it could be a split of a second. You feel like this moment just lasted forever for me because it left such a huge emotional imprint in my heart. It literally has the power to expand time for you. I'm doing like this zoom motion and it makes you feel like I just experienced a lot of intensity, a lot of emotion in that one moment, in that split of a second. And it was absolutely mind-blowing. It was absolutely unforgettable. Like it, you know, I cannot explain it. Even words alone cannot explain the magnitude of what I just felt. I couldn't possibly explain it to someone, but it's just this like, you know, this healing energy, that this wave that came over me. It's very, very emotional. It's very lasting. It's very transcending, and that's how you know you are experiencing one of these moments. And I think one of the biggest misunderstandings about experiencing gratitude is that I think a lot of people, you know, that's primarily the reason why a lot of people aren't able to experience it to the fullest extent, is that a lot of people feel, and this used to be me as well, that there's got to be a reason to experience gratitude. This thing in your life has got to have brought you some benefit. It's got to have changed your life. It's got to have given you something. It's got to add value to your life, and therefore you feel gratitude. I used to be grateful for like, oh, having a roof over my head. Why? Because it provides me shelter. Having food on the table. Why? Because it fills my stomach. Having, you know, friends and family. Oh, I'm so grateful for them. But like, there was never really a moment where I looked at these things and made me go, wow. This moment of like opening my eyes and coming to awareness of the greatness of the presence of this in my life, without having to count the reason, without having to rationalize this thing being in my life and how it has benefited me in a very positive way, how it's impacted me in a positive way or changed me in a positive way, and therefore I am grateful for it. It's like, no, I don't have to have any reason. I can just feel grateful without having any reason, without justification, without quantifiable effect. It's just a pure distilled feeling. It's an experience, an internal experience, an internal journey that you can only experience in yourself when you're no longer trying to think your way into gratitude, but experience it in your body, experience it with your breath, experience it with your eyes, and experience it in the most simple, distilled way without trying to rationalize it, justify it, mechanicalize, turn it into a mechanism that you can do so that, you know, you can take action upon it. It's just something that you have to experience in the most basic, in the most simple form of the word, wholly, fully, and wholeheartedly. And one of the other thoughts that I had was, if gratitude is about expanding the moment and appreciating the moment and not just the thing but the moment, then the only way that it could happen is through my observation of that moment. And so the only way that I could really expand into the appreciation of that is if I were to observe how I was feeling in that moment
the aspects of beauty, the aspects of joy, the aspects of the freedom, just being in touch and feeling connected, the aspects of awe, and really like observing with a lot of attention, observing how I was experiencing that moment and how that moment was impacting me. So it is a feedback. I first have to send my attention outwards to observe the moment of the things that delight me, right? That awaken me, that inspire me. And then the feedback informs me how it moves me. It informs me in how it's changing me. It informs me of the depth of how, things could change from here onwards. This is really powerful because I feel like we've taken this conversation of gratitude to a whole different level. We've taken this experience of being in touch with the moment, not just as an activity to do, not just as a practice to do, but a transcendental moment that could change your life forever, that could leave an imprint in your life, that could change your DNA, that could change the way you walk on this planet. It could change the way that you treat yourself. You understand what I'm saying? It could change the way that you interact with the world. And so this is very, very powerful, very, very moving, very eye-opening and expansive once you allow yourself to tap into that level of observation, of keen, careful, deep observation of what the moment has to offer you. That's just the one thing that I wanted to add. I've already stopped filming. I just, needed to say that out there.
Whoever finds this message, whoever finds this video, if you're watching this video, I really pray and I wish that you could also have this kind of experience as well. That kind of gratitude that moves you, that transcends you, that changes you somehow. And I believe that this is the kind of feeling, this is the kind of human experience that we are all here for. This is the kind of experience that, once like it touches you, even if you just get like a glimpse of this feeling, it will change you forever. It will change the way that you appreciate things moving forward. And even like if you are in a bad place of your life, even if you are, you're like running out of things in your life to like count your blessings for, but just the depth of the magnitude of how moving it is so powerful to change, like just to ripple out into all the other areas of your life. I hope that it takes your breath away. I hope that, it just gives you the kind of joy that makes you look forward to more and more and more moments like these. And so, yeah, I did not even plan on making this video at all. Originally, I had planned to do my 100th subscriber celebration video, which I have planned so many things for, and I'm super, super excited about. I've actually prepared a photo shoot for it, which I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So I'm going to be filming that later. But this inspiration stepped in, and I couldn't be more grateful that I can be in this place where I'm just chilling out, stepping out of the shower, and just like coming with this idea, coming with this message fresh and hot for you. Wherever you are in your energetic state, as you tune into this video, I hope that you're able to experience this kind of vibration. I hope that it just adds that speckle of light, that just like that glisten in your eyes, that you will see the world just a little differently today. You will see the way how things are beautiful for you. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for making time and being here to receive this message. And let me know if, this message landed with you, if it landed in your body. Please like this video. Please share it with a friend. Please share it with a family member. I would love for this message to reach as many people as possible. So it would help me so much if you could help me achieve that. Thank you. I love you. Sending you lots of love and light. And I'll be seeing you in the next video.